In our modern, fast-paced world, where technology often replaces face-to-face interactions and digital messages dominate our daily lives, there is one skill that still stands above all: the power to understand people, to communicate effectively, and to build meaningful relationships. This book is a journey into the heart of social intelligence, emotional awareness, and the art of connecting with others. It teaches us that real human power doesn't come from control or authority, but from empathy, understanding, and genuine presence. Let's begin with the basics: communication. We often think that communication is all about talking, saying the right words, and making our point. But here's the truth. Some of the most powerful messages are sent without a single word. Through our facial expressions, our body language, our tone of voice, we are constantly speaking, even in silence. Think about it. Someone might say, "I'm fine," but if they're looking down, speaking in a flat tone, and avoiding eye contact, you know they're not fine. On the other hand, a warm smile, a soft voice, and relaxed posture can say, "I care," without a word. This is called non-verbal communication, and it's everywhere. The way we stand, how we sit, how close we are to someone, even the way we move our hands, these all send messages. And people are reading us all the time. So if we want to build better connections, we must become more aware of our body language and learn to read other signals too. Next, we dive into something deeper: emotional intelligence. This is not just about knowing how to feel. It's about knowing what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how to manage it. Emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness. That means recognizing your own emotional patterns. Are you quick to get angry? Do you shut down when you're sad? Do you avoid conflict out of fear? Once we understand our own emotions, we can start managing them, which is called self-regulation. Self-regulation is like emotional self-control. It's that pause you take before reacting, that deep breath you choose instead of snapping, that ability to stay calm when things get tense. Without it, we are just reacting on impulse. With it, we become grounded, composed, and clear-minded, even in difficult conversations. But emotional intelligence doesn't stop with ourselves. The next layer is empathy, understanding and feeling what someone else is going through. It's not about agreeing with them. It's not about fixing their problems. It's about saying, "I see you. I hear you. Your feelings matter." Empathy is what builds trust. It's what makes people open up, feel safe, and connect. It's how you build relationships that are not just strong, but also real. This leads us to active listening. Listening is not the same as hearing. We can hear words and not really understand the message. Active listening is about giving your full presence to someone. No distractions, no multitasking, no judgments. You listen not just to respond, you listen to understand. You listen with your eyes, your body, your attention. You make the other person feel valued. And that, more than anything, builds connection. Then we learn about one of the most human gifts: empathy in its full depth. There are 3 levels of empathy. First is cognitive empathy, where you understand someone's perspective, even if you don't agree with it. Second is emotional empathy, where you actually feel what they feel: their sadness, their fear, their joy. And third is compassionate empathy, where you not only feel and understand, but you genuinely want to help. And yet, empathy is not always easy. Sometimes, people express themselves in ways we don't expect. Some cry, some get angry, some go silent. True empathy requires us to look beyond the surface and try to understand what's really going on inside. It means being patient. It means holding space for people without trying to fix them. It means simply being there. Now comes a powerful skill that every emotionally intelligent person must learn: emotional regulation. Life throws many situations our way: stress, conflict, criticism, misunderstandings. Our emotions can become overwhelming. But regulation doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means learning how to work with them. It means knowing your triggers, understanding your patterns, and having strategies to stay calm and present. Sometimes, regulation means taking a walk. Sometimes it means pausing and breathing deeply. Sometimes it's journaling. Other times, it's just knowing that what you're feeling is temporary and you don't have to act on it immediately. This is how we stay grounded in the face of chaos. And here's the beauty. When we regulate ourselves, we become more available for others. We can listen better. We can respond with care instead of reacting with ego. We can show up in relationships as safe, steady, trustworthy people. The book also teaches us about conflict, something we all face. Whether it's with a friend, a partner, a colleague, or a family member, difficult conversations are part of life. But most people either avoid conflict or attack during conflict. Neither works. The real solution lies in understanding the emotional undercurrent of conflict. What is this really about? Is it about respect, recognition, safety, trust? When we can identify the emotional need behind the words, we can address the real issue. And here, tools like I statements help. Instead of saying, "You always ignore me," we can say, "I feel hurt when I'm not listened to." That shifts the conversation from blame to vulnerability. Another tool is reframing, choosing words that open the conversation instead of closing it. For example, instead of saying, "You are wrong," you could say, "That's an interesting perspective. Here's how I see it." In conflicts, one of the most important things is to find common ground, shared values, shared goals. When we remind ourselves and the other person that we're on the same team, that we want connection and not destruction, the entire energy of the conflict changes. And of course, staying emotionally regulated during a fight is key. If one person stays calm, it helps the other calm down too. And now we move to the elegant art of influence, not manipulation, not control, but real ethical influence. Influence starts with trust. People will only listen to you, follow you, or agree with you if they trust your intention. And trust comes from authenticity, being real, honest, consistent, and aligned. When people see that you say what you mean, do what you say, and care about others, they trust you. Influence isn't about pushing people. It's about inviting them. It's about showing them a perspective that aligns with their needs, not just yours. And when done right, it feels natural, not forced. The book teaches us some simple but powerful principles of influence. Reciprocity. When you give first, people are more likely to give back. That could be time, attention, kindness, or support. Social proof. When people see that others are doing something, they're more likely to follow. Scarcity. We value things more when they are rare or unique. Framing your ideas or offers in a way that shows their special value increases interest. Authority. People listen to those who demonstrate knowledge, experience, and confidence. Consistency. When someone commits to a small action, they're more likely to follow through on bigger ones. Start with small agreements. All of these tools work best when they are used with integrity. Influence should feel like a gift, not a trick. As the book progresses, it circles back to one powerful truth. Human connection is everything. And the root of that connection is empathy. The ability to step into someone else's world and say, "You are not alone." But empathy requires emotional energy. And sometimes, life makes us tired. We feel overwhelmed. That's why this book also reminds us to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Understand your own limits. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The more you care for your own emotional well-being, the more available you become to care for others. Empathy, listening, communication, regulation, influence, these are not just skills. They are life tools. They help us raise children better, build teams better, love deeper, lead stronger, and live fuller. So, as you reach the end of this book's journey, ask yourself, are you willing to pause before reacting? Are you open to hearing the feelings behind someone's words? Can you lead without pushing, love without conditions, and listen without judgment? If your answer is even a hesitant yes, then you are already walking the path of emotional and social intelligence. In a world that is often loud, fast, and disconnected, your presence, your empathy, and your sincerity are a gift. Use these tools to heal, to grow, and to connect. Use them to become the kind of person who brings light into rooms, comfort into conflicts, and calm into chaos. Because in the end, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present. Thank you for being with me in this journey. And if you learned something new from this book, then do share, like, and subscribe.